went to the rally and rallied for Trump. And what I found interesting about it from a spiritual perspective, since this is a spiritual channel, everything is spirituality though, so I can bring in most types of subjects and still feel pretty good about it. What I found interesting is the fact that Hulk is, well, what I said in the title was that he's breaking the fourth wall in real life. I think even Dana White to some extent did this. Dana White was another speaker at is it called a Republican National Congress or something, Congressional RNC. He's also just like a great speaker, a good speaker. These people are, I think Tucker Carlson was also there. He's also a great speaker, but no one surpassed the Hulk. He really put it on, and of course he's a great entertainer. He's been an entertainer for the better part of his life, so it's no coincidence. But he also did make like a objectively pretty good speech. I imagine most Democrats would say that it's bad, but I think I don't have any horse on this, and I don't really care that much. I just thought it was a good speech. But my point, though, is that I found it interesting from a spiritual awakening perspective, in that what the traditions speak about is, like in Hinduism, for example, they have this state called sahasha samadhi, which is called the stateless states, or the spontaneous state, rather. So being, like Jesus said, this is not a Christian thing, but Jesus said that it's not until we become like little children that we can enter the kingdom of heaven, or kingdom of God, something like that. It's not that Hulk acts like a child, but he is. I think I heard him say this, and a lot of entertainers do this, just like other people who are good at. We can look at it if we see in the playlist here on the right, or my recommended YouTube videos. We can see that there's a video here about with Magnus Carlsen, who is the best chess player probably of all time. What he says is that when he's really feeling it, sort of, when he's really playing great chess, he goes into sort of a flow state, and everything becomes intuitive for him. He just acts. He doesn't really think, or he just follows his intuition. The same with Adam Ondra, for example, who is a famous mountain climber who does this free climbing. And when he does it, he really needs to be in the zone in order to not fall down, basically. So he's also goes into this flow state where he becomes, just like Magnus Carlsen says, playing chess, but this is mountain climbing. So his being flow. He is in a flow state, and he's flowing on the mountain. He's following his intuition. It is his intuition that is telling him to do this. Put your hand there, put your foot there. This is his own words. I'm paraphrasing, but sort of what is said. I think the same has been said by the Hulk Hogan. He's also said that when he goes into the character, things just happen. He's in character, and he just flows with it. And really great entertainers, they do the same thing that Magnus Carlsen does, and that in chess, and Adam Ondra does in mountain climbing, and whatever. I was going to think about some, anyway. What all people who are great at things do when they are in the zone, so to speak, when they are in the flow, when they are free, when they are just acting, which is also what they speak about in a lot of the spiritual traditions. They speak about flow states, sort of. They don't have the explicit psychological term, of course. It's pretty new. Come from Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, or whatever his name is. He coined it. He's a psychologist, and it tends to appear, the flow state, when you're doing something that you're really good at, and you have the optimal challenge, sort of. So for Magnus Carlsen, it's him playing chess, and in some circumstances, he really get into this flow. From Adam Undra is when he's doing one of these really 9 or whatever it is climbs. As a 9 is the difficult level. I think 9B is one of the most difficult ones. Doesn't really matter. When he's doing those and really is in the flow and he's flowing, and then he's in flow. And the point of spiritual awakening, like getting into the Sahaja Samadhi, is not to just be in flow for a period of time. It's being in that state everywhere, all the time, everywhere. You just are. You're just doing, like they say in the Zen tradition. Just chop wood, carry water. Just do whatever you do. Do what it is you do, and no thinking. That is exactly how it is with Adam Ondra, for example, or other people. There's almost no thoughts, or there are these intuitive actions, maybe intuitive thoughts, maybe that just comes. They just spring forth. And to me, that is what we saw with Hulk, to some extent, at least. To say, I wouldn't say that, but that is what makes him interesting. That is what captivates people, whether you like it or not. I mean, I imagine most Democrats or people who don't like the WWE or Hulk or right wing people in general wouldn't enjoy this or like this or anything. Doesn't really matter. I think we still can take an objective stance. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm biased in some way. Because I enjoy sports, and I think I don't watch a lot of wrestling though. But yeah, I can still appreciate whether or not I like Hogan as a person or his act. I can appreciate when someone is really good at their craft. Here, Hulk Hogan is really good at his craft. He's coming through the screen almost. He's direct. It's entertaining. He's captivating, because he's really in the zone. He's really in flow. He's really acting. He's really in character too. And when he really is in character and is doing it, he captivates the audience. You look at it, you're drawn to him, just like someone is drawn to someone like Messi in soccer, someone who's really good at something. It's hard to say even what it is that he's really good at. I mean, he's wrestling, of course. Yeah, there are a lot of you have to be good at throwing people around, and there's athleticism. Yeah, that's the word. All of those things are there, but it's even more so because Hulk wasn't the most athletic guy. He wasn't the strongest. He wasn't the most powerful. He wasn't the biggest, anything of that. But he was maybe the greatest entertainer. He was just so captivating in his way of being, his way of expressing himself, and he just went into that flow. He just went into being the Hulk, Hulk Hogan. So yeah, we're gonna just look at a couple of seconds. Maybe they're gonna end my channel when I look at these videos, but we'll try it out.
And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania.
Yeah, so he's really going for it. He's just so expressive. He's, I mean, again, most maybe won't like this. They don't like him being this, people acting like this. of course, these people are enjoying it, but I think even with, I think these were perfect people to have, basically. It's, of course, really strange to have Donald Trump, who not too long ago no one would think would be ever be president, and then you have Hulk Hulk Hogan from the wrestling guy giving a speech, ripping his shirt off and just screaming to the audience. I mean, who would have predicted this? No one. But it's there, and it works. That's the thing. It really works. I think Tucker Carlson said he's never been at a rally or a convent like this ever. That the energy is so high. Everybody is so sort of positive. They are upbeat. It's just this great feeling to it. Whether or not you like that, whether or not you like the politics or whatnot, having these people up like Donald, Dana White and Hulk Hogan, Tucker Carlson, they are great entertainers. They are born and bred to do this, and it's going to be really hard to do it better than they did in the Democratic rally. I did watch a speech from 2012 with Clinton. He was actually a really good speaker. He made, this is, many years ago, and it's also not in the, who can compete with Hulk in terms of energy, but it's still really good, I think.
I want a man who had the good sense to marry Michelle Obama. I want Barack Obama to be the next president of the United States. And I proudly nominate him to be the standard bearer of the Democratic Party.
So, yeah, this is just a short snippet, but it's good. It's really good. I think he was a great speaker, and so there are great speakers on both sides. It's interesting to compare Hulk Hogan to Bill Clinton. But what makes them great is the fact that they're great entertainers. What makes them great entertainers is that they are really able to get into the part. They are acting. They are being. They are free. They are not really thinking. They are somehow they are captivating. They have that X factor in them, and I think that is something that is sort of at least connected to spirituality in that people who are free, people who can, Hulk is free when he's being the Hulk, Hulk Hogan on stage. He isn't like that in his day-to-day life, of course. He's not throwing tables and screaming at people. He's just a regular human being. And the same with, I think, Dana White. He's not this this character all the time. But there's something that is captivating with being that free, being a free person, like Adam Ondra on climbing, like Magnus Carlsen is when he's playing chess, like Clinton is sometimes when he's giving speeches, like Hulk when he's entertaining, and Dana White when he's giving, these rally speeches. That's the same thing with some of these spiritual, and you don't have to be crazy energetic, you don't have to be screaming, you don't have to be, you can be captivating in other ways. I remember one of my Zen teachers, he was at some sort of whatever it was, giving a speech, and most people had these PowerPoints, they had laser pointers and all kinds of things, and he didn't have anything. So he just had a black screen, and he just spoke, and people seeing that were really captivated by it. And he did it kind of mellow, low tone, but he was fully there. He was present, and that's the thing. When you're in the flow, you're fully present in your body. You're not thinking about things. You just fully are. You're being an expression of life itself, so to speak. I'm not saying necessarily that Clinton and Dana White and Hulk Hogan is, an authentic expression of reality itself. But I think to the degree that they embody that in their way of being, at least when they have been giving these speeches, it's somewhat true. It's somewhat true. It's something that we can learn from. And that is what makes them captivating, I think. And that's what makes them, so good at what they're doing. They are going into it. They're not thinking. They're not afraid. I mean, maybe they are. Who knows? They don't look afraid, though. They don't look to be hesitant at all. They look to be fully, like Jim Carrey used to say, or he has said at least a couple of times, that he had a realization that what people wanted going to see him as a stand-up comedian, he was wondering what it was, and he realized that they wanted to be free of worry. They wanted to have something to. I'm adding this now, but okay, they wanted to be free of worry. They just wanted to laugh. But looking at these people like Clinton, like Hulk Hogan, they know what people want to be entertained. Like in Gladiator, they don't want someone to just do something well. They want to be entertained and forget about themselves and believe in something. So when you really see someone who is fully themselves, who is fully acting, who is fully embodied, who's fully present, almost whatever it is they're doing. Of course, a Democrat won't appreciate the Republican Party speakers, and the opposite is also true. I think, at least, it just doesn't work with the ideologies and values that those people have. But I think some, maybe a few of them can. And if it's not politics, I think most people would be able to appreciate someone like Hulk Hogan or even Bill Clinton. He's only politics, but someone who's really good at what they're doing. Someone like Adam Ondra climbing, most people don't care about climbing, but seeing someone being extremely good at what they're doing, just being fully embodied, fully in the moment, fully in the zone, fully alive. That is being alive. So we see someone being alive. We see him being free of worry. We see them just dancing, basically dancing, being almost like love, being just an expression of life itself again. I think that's just so, it's captivating. It's sometimes what we call the X factor. It's called the X factor because it's unknown in a way. It's not really, you don't really know what it is. It's very common in show business to speak about. There's a whole show called named after it, the X factor. Some people just have it, even like Simon Cowell. He doesn't seem to be a very nice person, but he's captivating. People love seeing him. They love to see him make his comments and like to see him, make his expressions, frowning or whatever it is. He's so full of himself in a way, and almost like Trump, who also seemed to be, well, from what I can see at least, seemed to be pretty full of himself too. He's famous for being a narcissist, and I think even Tucker Carlson mentioned it. I thought it was pretty funny. He said in his speech that Trump was called him up after the attempted assassination, and Tucker remarked that Trump never once spoke about himself, which was kind of funny because that's admitting kind of that, that he usually does, which he does. He has a lot of focus on himself. I think it was the late comedian Norm Macdonald that said, I don't know if Trump really wants to be the president, but I think he just want to be the center stage in every room he enters into, and being the president, yeah, that makes it so. Sort of. And I think Norm MacDonald is even, I'm not sure about his political leanings, but he's sort of a right winger, I think, to some extent. Either way, that wasn't really a political comment. I think it was just being honest. It wasn't even a joke. He was speaking to Larry King in a more, normal conversation-esque conversation. Okay, so that was my thoughts about this. And again, being alive, being in the flow, being yourself, being maybe these are being Hulk Hogan isn't being yourself. That's being and going full in, shall we say? Going full in if you're mountain climbing or playing chess or playing a character or whatever it is. You can also find that just being yourself, going fully into being who you are in your day-to-day life. You can find that. That is what the teachings says, the mystical traditions throughout the world. They entice us, or they show us the way, or they, make it seem possible. I don't know. They speak about at least awakening, waking up from the dream of separateness, from the dream of illusion of ego, from your thoughts, seeing them as objects, and being in flow, getting in flow in your day-to-day life, not just being Hulk Hogan, not just being, on stage or climbing or something, because then you need to be climbing all the time, right? You can't just be being in, you can't be climbing, you can't be playing chess, you can't be Hulk Hogan all the time. You need to find it where you are. And I think it was Eckart Tolle who also spoke about the possibility of being in flow, being in the now. He speaks about the power of now every day, all day long. That is what these teachers teach, and what can be your actual experience. Because when your mind drops away, when your thinking mind drops away, you become free or freer to the degree that it does. Doesn't mean that thoughts cease fully, even though cessation, nirvana is the actual meaning of it, though it means that your identification with them ceases. So your ego in that way ceases, because your identification with thoughts, feelings, emotions, whatever, ceases. And then you become free, and then you get the probability of being in the flow or in the zone increases fundamentally a lot, and you can walk the earth being like Hulk Hogan is when he's Hulk Hogan. I don't know his real name. Or like when Bill Clinton was given a speech back in the day when he was really good at it. Or whatever, whenever Adam Mondra is climbing. You can get more of that through spiritual practices. That is, through meditation, through different types of spiritual practices that makes your brain change basically into becoming more of being in flow. So I'd highly suggest that if you're wondering about it and read about it, like Sahasha Samadhi in Hinduism, and don't know mine basically in Zen Buddhism, the flow state. Okay, thank you, and I see you.